Hello and welcome to Up the Villa podcast. So I'm joined by Seb. We're reacting to tonight's game, disappointing one, coming away 1-0 losers against Stoke. I think now it's safe to say that we've got our eyes on that title shot against Liverpool on Sunday. Take those 3 points and, go top of the league. Who needs the cup anyway? But no, in all seriousness, Seb, how are you and how did we play today?
Yeah, no, I'm all right. Thanks for asking. We weren't too good today, but I think I was expecting a tough game before we came into it. I saw quite a few people play this down as a fixture. Their championship, we should be beating them. But if you look at the bigger picture, they've gone and knocked Wolves out of the cup. Stoke are known for their defensive outlet, so I always knew it was going to break them down today. But I think the manner in which we went to break them down today was slightly disappointing. I think I felt let down with our attacking outlet today, with us rarely creating a gilt-edged opportunity. Yeah, it's disappointing, but you can't have everything. You can't have the league and the cup. So as long as we keep our good form in the league, then we'll slowly forget about this defeat today.
I mean, there's a few things that I'd just like to touch on. Really, I mean, looking at this type of performance from tonight, as a positive, I think it's nice that we've got two teams. We've got the first 11, and we've got a fringe sort of 11, albeit so. In that sense, that's nice to see that we do have that. We do have that sort of difference in lineups where you've got your go-to team and you've got players that should be fighting for a position. Now, on the other hand, which is the worry for me, is that the team that's meant to be the fringe team, we've talked with players such as Lansbury, Gilbert, Courtney Horse, Keenan Davis, now Anwar El Ghazi. We've delivered a performance tonight which wouldn't warrant them being in a starting lineup. It wouldn't warrant them pushing for places. The players that have missed out today, such as Douglas Luiz, McGinn, all those types of players wouldn't be really threatened. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So I
Yeah,
feel
yeah.
like for me, I can allow the performance to be slightly bad because it's loads of changes coming in, but it's just a little bit worrying seeing that the fringe players, and I'm looking at someone like Gilbert, who everybody wouldn't want him to leave, but he's not really delivered tonight. What do you think on that?
Yeah, no, I can definitely see where you're coming from. I would have probably liked to expect that the fringe players, as you would like to call them, or maybe our second string team, the players would almost be up for it tonight to try and prove themselves worthy of a starting position, or maybe threatening the people in front of them, making them look back and go, okay, I need to perform here to keep my place, because that's what you need at a football club. You need good, healthy competition, pushing the players in front and behind them to do even better and to stride on to make greater success. But disappointingly, we didn't see that tonight. But looking at the positives, I don't really want to dwell on this too much. So looking at the positives, we got to see more minutes of Jacob Ramsey today. He looked very, very good until he came off. He almost ran that midfield. He almost put Lansbury to one side and said, look, watch out here. This is how it's done. And was, our best way of getting forward. We'd look through him. So that's always bright. That's always promising. And you know how much I'm a big fan of Jacob. So I'm looking forward to seeing him in the future. But in terms of our team's performance today, Dino will be upset. The backroom staff will be upset. I mean, we could hear them belting out instructions the whole 90 minutes on the game that we were watching. And it just lacked that cutting edge, really. But credit to Stoke. They came here, they knew what they were doing, they were well drilled, and they got the performance they were looking for.
Yeah, I think you've summarised it really well there, Seb. So let's move on to the league now. The most important thing that we're going to be playing in this season. So looking ahead, like I said in the intro, we're going to be going there as a top four title match at the minute. So I am only joking as well, by the way. So how do you see it going on Sunday? Looking forward to that game now.
Well, I think every single Aston Villa fan in the whole entire world will admit that this is no easy game on Sunday. We're welcoming the champions back to Villa Park, and we're going to be up against it for 90 minutes. I can't see us having much of the ball, and I can't see us creating too many good chances. So it's just a question of whether we can catch them on the break, put them on the back foot when we're able to, and stick one or two chances away when we get the opportunity. If we're able to cause Van Dijk and Trent and Robertson, etc., some problems, then I think we could be in for maybe snatching something. I think people would describe it as snatching something as we go there, not expected to get anything out of the game. So if we could get something, anything, then I think that would be a huge, huge positive that we can carry on forward. But I think looking at their defence, that is probably their weakest spot. Obviously, Thiago missing out in the midfield due to COVID. But looking at their defence, I think I'm right in saying they started Fabinho alongside Van Dijk last game. So whether we can tap into his defensive weaknesses, obviously he's not an out and out centre back. So if we can look to target him, maybe get runners in behind him, Ollie Watkins with his creative movement, then who knows what can happen.
I think one thing that I've never really liked Villa fans using this phrase, and it's a free hit. I always think of a free hit as you've got to have points on the board to sort of have that as a free hit. Last year that phrase was branded around quite a lot, and it just didn't sit right for me. But I feel now that we've sort of got two wins out of two. We've got Liverpool coming up now. We've got nothing to lose. To me, that is classed as a free hit. So I'd like to see us go for it and try and hit them on the break. I think last season we did really good against Liverpool, albeit that we lost both games, but they were sort of tight affairs, and we did hold our own at times. And I'd like, picking up on one of your points as well, is we do look a bit like a counter-attacking team now with pace. I think the players that we've brought in, you're talking about, say, Traore, Watkins is pacey, he's a willing runner. You've got Barkley, who's quite powerful in midfield. Again, he's a willing runner. So I think we probably can cause the top teams this season some problems, which is brilliant to see, really. So transfer window shuts on Monday. Do you see any more movement on Villa's front? What do you feel like we need?
Obviously I'm no in the know here, and I have no idea what's going on behind the scenes. I would like to think that we're possibly aiming to get one more in. I've heard a lot of talk about another forward player coming in, someone that can possibly play up front and also out wide. I think that's probably what Lang and Co are sort of holding out for, maybe looking for. There's also been a lot of talks about a left back coming in, but I think we've probably left it too late. I mean, Target's a good Premier League left back, so he'll be fine for 6 months or the season. I'm happy with him at left back. But if we could get someone in at striker to maybe play understudy to Watkins and possibly go out wide as well, then I think that would leave us with pretty good squad depth, especially as we saw from Keenan today. He's not an out and out goal scorer. I think if Watkins was, say, to pick up an injury, I think things would be looking quite bleak with Keenan up front. As much as I like him, he's a good, promising young player, and I'm glad we tied him down on a new contract. I don't think he's ready for that step up yet, and I don't think he'd hit the mark that we as a club would hope for. So if we could get another attacking player in, I think this would be one of the best windows in Villa's recent history.
Totally agree. I think we've spoke about it. We've all spoke about how we've done so well to bring in these players that the transfer window's been really good, but the missing piece for me now is another striker. We have to bring in another striker. Like you just said, if we have an injury to Watkins and we're left with Davis, last year we had Wesley and Davis out and we had to go with Al Ghazi up front at times. We can't have that again. That can't happen. We need to sign another striker. And it's just crucial, really. It's crucial to not put the load on Watkins. I think although we've paid a lot of money for him, there's going to be times where we do need to make that substitution, and we do
Yeah,
be bringing on another striker. And
yeah,
again, I agree with you. I like Davis. I think he works very hard, but I don't think he's going to get the goals that are gonna change games and win games. So that's the one area that I think I'd like us to address. So can I just touch on your thoughts on Barkley? We didn't hear from you yesterday, so what are your thoughts on it?
I'm I'm ecstatic. I think it came as quite a shock when it was announced. It sort of came out the blue. We'd heard about interest in either Barkley or Ruben Loftus-Cheek, but I think I was sort of saying to my brother and my friends that I could see Loftus-Cheek probably being the most likely to come through the door. But look, I'm so happy, and hopefully he can kick on now and try and find his form where he became a firm fan favourite at Everton.
Again, I totally agree. I think just a brilliant signing. The level of signing that we need, to take us forward, to make us more dynamic in midfield, and I feel like he completes the midfield as well. So thanks everybody for watching. Just thought I'd do a little bit of a recap on Stoke, a little bit of a preview to Liverpool. If you could subscribe to the channel, and thanks Seb for coming on tonight.
No worries, no worries. See you on Sunday.
Up the Villa.